Back then, there were sums and mathematics that were given to us that were really difficult. And most of the time, there is a formula or there is an application that is needed for us to get those answers. Good morning, you're welcome to Daily Dose. I bring you a word from the Lord. And it's from the book of Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 2. I'm using a different version now. It says, surely there is no advantage for a person without knowledge, and whoever moves too quickly misses the turn. So it says there is no advantage for a person without knowledge. Every time any task is given. I liked the Proverbs. It says anybody who doesn't sharpen the iron, all right, if the iron be blunt, you are going to spend a lot of strength. Knowledge is what is needed for anything to go successful. You've got to find out, how do I execute this task in the best possible way without having to burn out on a particular subject matter. I will recall that, back then there were sums and mathematics that were given to us that were really difficult. And most of the time, there is a formula or there is an application that is needed for us to get those answers. Now, anybody who is not aware of those formulas or those things to apply to that particular situation to get the result, you will do what they call nonsense to get to the answer. And people try all of those kind of formulas, those ways, and that's what gets people in trouble sometimes. People think, for instance, for you to be able to get rich, and they will say all of those things, and that's how people fall into the trap of fraudsters, or even people who are fraudulent, and or even all these money-making scheme, kind of thing. It says a knowledge, and you will see it, that essentially their heart is pure. They want to make money. They want to advance the course of their life. They want to do better, which is a legit good reason. But for you to get to that particular point where you're advancing the course of your life, knowledge is required. And there are no shortcuts to it. If you do not pay the price of knowledge, you will suffer. And that's why he says, whoever moves too quickly will miss the turn. You don't move too quickly if you don't have the knowledge. Somebody goes and says, I'm going to a particular place. Speed is not your advantage at that particular point. If you don't have the direction, you will run out or you will burn out because you are very passionate about getting to the destination. You can be passionate about getting to the destination, but if you don't have the direction, you will suffer twice. So it's important that knowledge acquisition is a prerequisite to success. If you do not acquire the requisite knowledge for whatever it is that you want to do or to achieve, you will burn out. So what do? There is knowledge acquisition in passing exams. There is knowledge acquisition in being successful on a job. There is knowledge acquisition in marriage. Those are essential commodities. Those are things that you must, there are prerequisites to those things. When you acquire the knowledge, you begin to apply those things. When you apply those things, you begin to have wisdom. And so if you are not hasty and you acquire the requisite knowledge, you will actually further the course of your life as far as life is concerned. So this is my admonition. Ensure to get knowledge before you venture into anything as far as life is concerned. I hope that has helped you this morning. Until tomorrow, when we bring you another word from the Lord on another episode of the Daily Dose, keep liking, keep sharing, and if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Blessings.